All right, so the UCS is changed right now. It was initially aligned with WCS, and now, as per my requirement, it is set. And after this change, I want to work according to WCS so that I can go with line. And previously, I have showed you that with star in the prefix, I can work with WCS. But in the WCS, according to the WCS, I want to put relative coordinate. So how it can do that? So let me specify the first point. So randomly I'm specifying the first point here with the mouse. I'm just specifying, and then I will put the value like at the rate. At the rate for relative. At the rate means it the coordinate value will be calculated from the previous point. So the upcoming point will be there, and which is the previous point. This is the previous point. So from this point the value will be calculated. So that's the mean of at the rate. Then I want it according to WCS, so that I will give that value uh, in the prefix, that is star, as I was showing in the previous class. So at the rate star, then your value 500 comma 250, all in the positive direction, and press enter. So here you see, okay. And next you also specify, sorry. So here I will specify at the rate, and then star, and 500 comma 0, only the x value. So I want it only in the x direction. So at the rate 500 comma 0, and press enter. Okay. And then the next coming point will be calculated from this point. This is the previous point or the last point, right? So the next point is in the y direction from the previous point, right? So there will be only y value there when I'm putting with the relative coordinate. So at the rate 0, x value will be 0. So in the prefix I will place star at the rate 0 comma 250. You understand that from this point the next segment, last point, will be in the y direction. So that's why 0 and y 250. So at the rate is to specify that I'm counting from the last point, and star is for according to WCS, and you press enter. All right. So this way the next point will be calculated from this point, okay, the last point. So that again at the rate, then the star, and what will be the value, minus, from this point it is going in the minus x direction, right? So minus 500 comma 0, enter. You see, and from here y is in the minus direction, right? So at the rate star 0 comma minus 250, and enter. So this way you can do it. So when I was when you will do with this closed object, so closed objects sides will be according to the UCS, but the point can be placed according to WCS. Okay, so you will get the result according to UCS with closed objects. So with line you can get this kind of result. And let me get back my world coordinate system. So right now UCS is aligned with WCS. Now I will show you a different drawing. So for that, let me open up a drawing. That is a same kind of drawing, but here I have some different curve. So how you can do with curve? So the height is same here. So let me set the unit u and enter. Let me define with centimeters. Okay. Dash TWG units. Okay. Now let me draw. So what I'll do, I will create first is center line. Okay. With this vertical, sorry, ortho mode on, I'm getting the straight line. So I'll specify this 70, enter, enter. There you got this line. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll make the half one. Okay. This 8.5, I'll make the half 8.5. Okay, then next what I'll do, I will create with offset. O enter offset. Then what is the now I will activate the dynamic input, so that is in a single command of offset I can give different value. So next value is 7 specified. The next value is 2.5. The next value will be 1.5. Give 1.5. Okay, the next value is 5.5. Select it, provide 5.5, enter. The next value for this, select, and next value is 2. Specify this direction and press enter. Then select this line, specify the direction, and give the value 1.5 and enter. Okay, so next value will be like 28. Enter. The next value is your 0.5. Then select this line. Then value is 2. Enter. Then again 0.5. Enter. Then select it. The value is 8 and enter. Then the value will be 1. Then the value will be 3. Enter. Then the remaining is 7. Okay, here you see, and enter. Okay, now the same line will be there, so I can copy the vertical line from the right edge. So for that I will choose copy. I have already selected the object, so I will then specify the base point, then this will be the placement point, and done. Okay, so now let me specify. So you can change the color of this object. So now every object is assigned with its inherent color. Okay, inherent properties. Okay, so that is defined by the layer. Okay, whatever the birth properties, in birth properties, that is defined by the layer. So if you want to override the properties, so for that this properties panel is there. If you want to override the properties, like suppose if I tell you that one bottle is manufactured with, like if I tell you that if you all have seen the Sprite bottle that comes with green color, so that is the inherent properties of that bottle, the color green. You cannot, if you try to scratch it, the color won't be fade away, right? But suppose there is a white bottle, and if you paint the green color, and after that if you scratch it, so then you see that the paint will fade away, correct? So when you manufacture, at that time you mix the color, so that is the birth properties of that object. So that is about your layer. When you create a layer and define all the properties, and with that layer you create, so those properties will be the birth properties of that object. And with these properties you override, like you paint. Okay, so if I select this object and go to, see, this is the right now by layer, means this, with this layer or whatever the layer is assigned with this object, it is, the properties are assigned according to the layer. That means by layer the properties are assigned by the layer, and after that you can change the color. Right now it is override, and if you go to this by layer, so according to the layer you will get back the property. So let me change it. So same like that color, there is line weight and then line type, so you can override with these properties. So for that, let me go with O enter, and what will be the value? 1.5. Select. Okay. Now you can change this color. For your better understanding, you can change the color. You go with O enter, then specify the next value. That will be 2. So you specify 2. Then next will be your 1. Okay. Give the value 1. All right, so now to that we will work. Now let me specify with this color, and for this let me specify with a different color, that is, this is great. Okay, so now about the trimming part, I don't need all this over there, and it will come up to this. Then I don't need these here. Okay, and then this part will be there. So to this will be trimmed, this will be trimmed, this shouldn't be there. Okay, and this will be like that. Okay, so next will be like this, up to this will be there, and let me delete these lines over there, so there will be no confusion. Right, now I'm done with. So let me convert this to again by layer, and for it there will be one so this distance is from this line to this line is 2.5, so I can go with like the I can go with fillet. So this is the distance 1.5, right? This is 1.5 distance, so here I can go with fillet option. So fillet distance will be the same, 2.5 radius, that will be 2.5. Enter, you select this object and then you select this object. Okay, so see there was no trim option was selected, so that's why we're getting it. Okay, oh okay, so that won't be 2.5, so that won't be 2.5, it will be from this point to this point. All right, so according to the drawing, when I'll give you the drawing, you can see that is this point to this point. So that is the center, from this to this will be the radius. Okay, so we have to go with fillet, and trim will be selected as trim. Radius will be 2. Enter, select this and select this. Okay, and you convert it to again by layer. All right, then this will be with the by layer. This part we will work later. And that will be extended up to this. It will be there, and we will have the 2 point over there, 2 point circle over there, and we will trim it. All right. Okay. All right. Now let's select this by layer and select this, change it to by layer. Okay, now we are done with this. Now I will complete the bottom half I will complete. So again, close this with this line. Next I have this one. So for that I will go with fully. I will close it fully. Okay, and what I can do is break. If I need to break as this total line into two lines, so for that I will go with break, break, and I will select this object. So with this break, when you select this object, at that point it will take the first point. So you have to go with the first point. So you will assign the first point. So this is the first point, and there will be no second point. So you again click on that first point. So then at that point it will break with two line. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This assignment, like the image you have not shared, like what?
Right. I will share. Okay. So this is what I have. Then I will go with O enter offset, and then I will put the value 1.5, enter, and this is what I have got. And then I will trim it, tr. Okay. So go with fillet, and your radius, that will be 1.5 radius, and this is the line, and this will be the line. So what you can do is you can do with this, and again you have to do with the same over there. Okay, and here you have to extend this with this grape. So go with this lengthen so you don't make any mistake, and at the end point of this, now this is the end point. So from here the middle is like 7 is the distance from this to this. It's the distance 7. Okay, so now let me go with this part. Here I will come again later. So for this part, what is the distance is there? 7.5 totally. So from the middle it will be like 3.75. So specify with 3.75, enter. Okay, and you can specify there. So you trim, tr, enter, and if you hold the shift, so you can extend, right? You can extend it, and you can trim it. Normally you can trim it. So what is the distance over there? That is 2, right? Okay, so with this 2 point I will draw over there a circle, and I will trim it. Okay, and I don't need that much long line, so I'll make it up to this with this grip point. Okay, and TR, trim this part. All right, we're done, and only we left with this. So for this, here the circle radius is not given. Okay, here the circle radius is not given. So for that, what you can do is, what you have done, you have specified this as a diameter 2. So here you make it half. You're making it half. So for that, I'll go with this 2 point. So that diameter is the above circle diameter is 2. So here I'll make with diameter 1. So let make with diameter 1. All right. And here, what is the uh, radius of the circle? That is 1.5, means the diameter is 3, right? So here you can specify the same diameter circle. So you go with this 2 point and then you specify 3 as the diameter. Okay, and then what you will do, you will connect these two circle with line. So go with this line, and we need to connect with tangent point. So for that, I'm not getting the tangent point highlighted. So for that, I can do with holding the shift button and go with right click, and then I will choose the tangent point. So then only tangent point will be highlighted. So it has been connected with this tangent, and then also, so for that, what is the option? Hold the shift and right click together. Then you can release the shift key and choose the right snap point, and only that will be highlighted, and that is connected. You press escape, go for the trim, enter, tr, enter, and then you trim the remaining part. Okay, sorry, I have done the wrong connection. So for that, here I have to connect this side. So for that, again, I will go to this tangent and see. Okay, and I will trim it. All right. And now for this part, what is there? A circle, a bigger circle is there. So I know that what is the maximum end, that is here from half, that is 8.5, means totally 17, that is the last end. So for that, I will create one with center diameter outside of this center diameter. Okay, or else what we can do is better we go with this. Okay, because we don't know what will be the center, so I'll go with the diameter, that is 17, and enter. And then I know that it will be placed here. So what is the intersection point? So that I know. So from here, I'll draw a center line and offset. So that will be the same offset value, 3.75. Enter, select it there, and I'll move it. So for that, this is the command to move, or else you can choose M, enter, then select this object. Selection is complete, press enter, then specify the base point. So this is the base point I'm specifying, and it will be placed over there, and click on that position. Right, you're done. Okay, and you delete this part, don't need this part, you delete or trim up to this. Okay, you so for this I don't need these 3 lines, I'll delete it. Now I have one smooth curve connected with this. So for that, I don't know anything about that circle. So there is nothing radius is there. I cannot find out any radius from the drawing. I cannot get that. So for that, I have this tangent option is there. So I have to find out the 3 tangent object. So that I can find out from the drawing. I can see this with this bigger curve or bigger circle that is connected with this uh, connected with the uh, connected with this smoothly, and I have to find out another. So for that, from this, so this line is continued here. So with that line, it is smoothly joined. And if I draw it, so if I draw it this way, so I will see that it's going like this. It's going like this. So then I can easily find out that these are the three tangent objects. So if I go through the drawing very well, so I can get our three tangent objects. First tangent object I selected, second is selected, and I'll click on this third and it will be created. Okay. Then I will go with trim. I will extend this part first. So with trim option, I can extend. If I hold the shift key, I can extend. See, it is extended. Now I don't need this part, so I will trim this part. Okay, and I will trim this part as well, and I will trim this part as well, this part and this part, this and this, and now it is done. All right, you got it. And what I'll do, without this center vertical line, I'll select all of this. Suppose I have selected this center vertical line also, so how can I deselect? With holding the shift key, if I select it, so it will be deselected. Okay, now I can make it symmetric with this mirror option. So already have been selected, so I have to specify the mirror axis. So this will be the first point of the mirror axis, then this will be the second point of the mirror axis, and erase source object, no, and it is done. And I will delete this vertical line. All right. Okay. Now, sometimes what happen, generally, this base is height 7 and the upper is also height 7. So sometimes what happen that the upper is not that much. So you can, after that also you can stretch it. Okay. So if it is bigger than the bottom base, so you can stretch it after that also, after creating it. So mainly I'm going to show you this stretch option. So for that, you have to select this way. Okay, so you have to select like this way. You have to select like this way. So you are selecting mostly this portion. Means if I tell you that example, that when you stretch a rubber band, so what do? You hold with two hand, and one left hand will be fixed, and you will be moving only the right hand to uh, increase or decrease, right? So one end will be fixed. So that's how you have to select the which end is fixed. You don't have to select that end or that part. So specifying the objects, selecting the objects, you press enter, and then you specify the base point. So if you specify this bend point, this as a base point, so from the base point, the mainly dimension will be calculated. So according to that, you can give the base point, and that base point will be fixed. So keep that in mind, and according to that you will give this base point. So I'm giving this as a base point, so I can give the extra value. Okay, so another benefit is that you not only stretch in that linear direction, you can stretch in other angular direction as well. Okay, so from here I'm just specifying this direction, so I will specify a value like 2. I will specify only and press enter, and it is stretched. Okay, so this drawing is done, and now I will show you with another drawing. So there I will make with this polygon option. I will create a polygon over there. Okay, so for that, let me create another drawing over there, and whatever the unit is, I can work with that unit. So I'll go with this polygon, and what will be the sides? So that will be 6 number of sides. Enter, and that will be inscribed. So the value is right, uh, 33.4. So you specify the center, whatever you specify the center, and you specify inscribed, and then what is the radius of the circle? That is 33.4, and you specify enter. Okay, so from this point to this point is the 33.4, right? So if you want to specify with age, number of site is 6, and you if you want to specify with age, you can specify with age as well. So go with age, and this is the point. So this point to this point you can specify. So if age value is given, from this point to this point, what is the distance of that age is given, so you can go with age, and the angle you can give. Okay, so that is created. Another polygon is there, so I'll complete the polygon, the same number of sides, and the center will be same. So see, generally this kind of object doesn't have center, we don't create with center, right? So for that, this kind of object has geometric center. So I have to highlight the geometric center. So for that, I will place my mouse pointer on the circumference, so it will be highlighted, and I can click, and then again inscribed, and what will be the radius? That is 66.7, and you press enter. Okay, let me move it a bit. Enter, move it a bit. Okay, all right, now let me specify some circle over there. So for that, I will choose center radius option, and this will be the center. So let's specify with 8.37. Okay, and then next will be there. So for that, I can specify with the circle. If I know the difference, so I can go with offset. So for that, 5 is the difference, so I can go with this. Okay, all right. Now next, I have circle over there as well. So for that, uh, that is 16.65 is there, 16.65, and offset value is already set. So press enter and select it. Inside I'll make it. Okay, and it is done. And I need to place all the circle at the corner of these polygons. So for that, what I'll do, I will select all these circles, and I will make it array. So when we create array, to create duplicate objects in arrangement, right, with proper uh, distance, with proper arrangement, when I need to place duplicate objects, then we will go with array. So for that, I will choose polar array, because in the angular direction I need to place what will be the center. So this will be the center, and up to 6, right? So that is already the default value. So 6 is the item number. So that is done, and it will fill within 360-degree, that is set. So the between angle will be calculated according to the field and the items. Okay, and the row is there, and level is in the Z direction level. So we don't need in the Z direction, and row is 1. row is there. If you need to add row, so it will add a row in this direction. Let me place 2, and there you see it will place like this, so I don't need rows. Okay, and one more thing, that is associative. If you check this associative option, so all the duplicate object will be linked with each other, means it will be selected as a single object if you check this associative. So I don't need this associative because I will trim all the objects, so I need all the objects individually in their freedom. So I will uncheck this, and base point is there for if you need to change the base point. So for that you can change the base point. Okay, and go. Let me show you with associative how you, if you have done this mistake, so how you can solve that. So let me go with that. Uh, so now you see I'm selecting one single object, so I'm not getting it. So this option has one benefit as well. So if you need to change the array even after that, suppose you need to modify and you are going with trial and error. So at that time you go with that associative option, so that after that you get this array edit option. You can edit the array. Okay, and next is there explode option is there. Explode, so it will break all the compound object, or you can say the single object. It will break the single object or the single entity into multiple entities. So the how many entity will be there, it depends according to the uh, object number or the segment number. According to that it will break. Okay, so this is the command or the icon explode, and what is the shortcut command is there, X, enter, only X, and you see explode, and then you select it, explode, you select it and press enter, and now it is exploded. Okay, so now I have undo. Now suppose there is one object is there, copy nest object is there, copy nested object. So that is a nested object. So from this closed nested object you want to copy this part, so you can select these and press enter, and from there you can make copy to this copy nested object, and this is as a single object. Okay, it is still as a single object, and but with this copy nested object, under this modify, this is the icon copy nested object, or you can type n copy and you select the object and you copy it from the nested object. Okay, so let me go with this explode, select enter. Okay, let me check one thing, that this is the radius control 1, that radius is 16.5, and that is your radius 1 point, sorry, 11.65. That is perfectly okay. And this control 1 3.37, and another is okay. So that is, let me check, di distance from this to this should be, this is I have done with 66 point. Okay, so I have placed the mistake, I have done this mistake by creating this polygon. While creating this polygon I have done this mistake, so let me go with this center of this polygon, and it should be inscribed. Then the radius will be half of that, So that will be 16. I have placed that as a diameter value, that is given as a diameter value, but I have specified with radius, so that's why I'm getting the error. So 16.7 will be there, and then again same polygon, same center, and that is inscribed, and the value will be 33.35. Enter. Okay, now let me specify, let me select this from this, copy, select it, press space bar so you can move it and you place it over there. Okay, so now you can go with one line as well. Sorry, undo. From the center to this midpoint or the quadrant point, connect to one line, select all of this, and then you go with this polar array. This is the center, and the same item number between 60° and fill with 360°. We don't need associative option, close array. And now the part is about trimming. So let me delete all this, or else you can need, if you need for trimming part, so you can keep this, and at the last end you can delete it. So let me go with this. Okay, uh, it will be like that, like that it will be. Yes, it will be like that, and go with this, and then again connect it from this to this, and this end to this end, connect it. Okay, and what you can do is you can delete all of this. If you need to delete all of this, shift these two, let me delete all of this, and just let me make it a mirror of this line so that I get it over there from this center to this center. No, and what I'll do is I'll again go with this polar array. So I'll select all of this. I won't select this line. Enter. This is the center, and here I got it. With the same item and field, this is overlined. That's because this line is 6 times copied, so you will get some overlapping. So see, I'm getting some overlapping lines. Here 2 lines are there. So how you can delete? Not by just going one by one, and it will consume your time. So we have this overkill option is there. Okay, this is the overkill, delete duplicate objects, so all the overlapping lines will be deleted. So go with this overkill option and select it, and then press enter and click on OK. All the duplicate lines are not available there. Okay, now you can trim the remaining part. Okay, right, so this is how you can do this kind of patterns. Okay, Now we have some other options in draw panel. We have some other options. Suppose you have some points, architectural or for topography surface, you have some points over there. Okay, suppose you have some Excel data is there and you are creating with points. Okay, so for that, okay, suppose this is a topography surface point is there, and according to the survey points, you have uploaded it over there, and you have created these points. You can change the point style as well. You know how to change the point style. So go with this utilities, and there is the point style. You can change the point style. So now you need to create contour lines. Okay, so for that we have this spline is there. Okay, so with that spline you can create your contour lines. So we have two different ways to create spline. One is spline control vertices, that is CV control vertices, and then spline fit. So this is two different ways. So I'll go with spline fit so that it will fit on that point, and you can, for this fit method, you can control by points. So that's why I'm choosing the spline fit. So from this point to this point, and then you just specify points and you close it. Okay, don't press enter, always go with C enter uh, if you want to create a nice closed loop. Okay, so same way, if you had some other points, and you can close with splines. So spline means smooth polyline. Okay, so you know what is about polyline. So with connected segment, it creates a single object, but here we get smooth polyline, so that is spline. Now you can go with this spline CV as well, but that won't make the right contour line over there. Okay, so that you are specifying the vertex over there. Okay, and these are the vertices. So let me hide this, hide object. So if I select it, you see I have specified vertex points. So this is not we require. Okay, so according to this, you can control your curves, this vertices, you can control these curves according to that. So this is not our requirement. So that's why we go with this spline fit. Okay, now we have another option available, that is construction line. When we go with construction line, we need to create our plan. So we can easily create our plans, our elevation, okay, with construction line or ray line. So construction line will specify one point, and it will go infinite in model space, infinite area, and you have to specify the direction. So for that, you will give a through point. You will specify a through point, and through that point, the infinite construction line will pass, and you will get that line. So if you need vertical, so in the vertical direction, you will specify, and then from that start point, it will make continuous line until and unless you escape from xline command. Okay, so suppose like you needed these two line, and then after that it will start, it will continue creating again. So you press escape, and after that you can go with your offset and you can create your plan. Okay, so suppose let me create with one boundary. Let me create that. Okay, so let me go with this random value. So here I'm specifying with, assume that I'm specifying with proper value, and this way you can specify. So very quickly you can create your plan. You can very quickly you can create your plan. Okay, then you trim it, or if these are the elevation for your projection line, you can use this line as a projection line for the next elevation. From this plan you can extract the elevation, right? So suppose there is some windows is there, so let me create for that. One line is there, and then you just have to specify the offset, so that is the building height. So that you specify like as I'm going with random value, so I choose through. Suppose that is the elevation height, and this will be the window. So this way you can create your elevation like from this what will be the seal height, so that you create offset. Uh, so I'm going with random, and then you give the window height, right, and all the details you provide, and this way you create your elevation with the construction lines. And you create plan. So I will give you the task for creating a plan. Okay, with construction line, and ray line is same like that. You can create ray line, so that goes in one direction infinite. In construction line goes in the both direction infinite. Ray line goes only one direction, so that you go the same method. If you need to create only plan, so you can go with this ray line. So you specify the start point, and the same you have to specify the through point, and from that start point it will continue creating, and then you escape, you are done, and again you can go with the same method. Okay, next we have, suppose you need to divide your lines. So for that we have this is to create multiple points. Okay, so like that I have been creating the points. So this is the same thing, the same icon is there. Okay, or else you can go with point po point. So from here you can specify multiple points at a time. You can specify with single command, you can specify points. Okay, and next is your divide is there, and next one is measure. So divide is equally dividing. Suppose I need to divide this line with 5 equal segments. Okay, so I will give the number 5 and enter. See, you are getting some dots over there. All right, let me delete. And if I change the point style so that you can easily visualize and see, from the last end to this point is one segment, and this way you got 5 equal segment. Okay, and suppose you need to divide with particular segment length. Okay, so for that you can select that object and you can specify the segment length of the segment. So I'm as because I'm going with the random value, so I can specify with the points or else I can give the value. So I'm specifying this point to this point will be the length. Suppose this will be the length. Okay, see. So it will maintain this way, and if it is like suppose you have 160 length, the line length is 160 and I have given the segment length is 50, so it will divide like that, and it can divide up to like 150, up to 150 it will equally divide, and the remaining 10 will be there with another segment like that. So here you see this part is with another different segment. Okay, so this way. And you know how to select all these points. So right click, quick select is there, go with this point, and value will be by layer, click on OK. All the points are selected and you delete it. And we also have this revision cloud option is there. Revision cloud. So revision cloud, when suppose there is some smaller parts in our drawings, so for detailing we can highlight with revision cloud, or if there is some revision is needed to highlight that section, that and you can highlight with text. So for that we work with revision cloud. This is revision cloud. And normally with this arc length we can specify what how much will be the arc length, that we can specify. Let me specify the approximate arc length, that is 250, and you can specify this way, you can specify. Okay, so generally we are getting by default, in the default condition we are getting a rectangular condition, and we can go with polygonal, so we can create polygonal shape. Okay, so to decrease the arc length so you can better visualize, if I go with polygon. Okay, here you can see and press enter. So this way we create revision cloud. All right, then this is for today's class. We're done with, and I'll share this drawing. I'm sharing this drawing to your group. Is there any question you can ask me?
Sir, how to appear those box inside the
Uh,
cross
which one?
click?
Sorry, your voice was breaking. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Now it's okay.
Okay. So, sir, actually, I'm talking about the boxes appearing besides the crosshair. When you click, two
Okay.
boxes are appearing, right?
Yes, this blue and this green, right?
No, 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 sir. Not that. Uh, just draw a line, sir. Try to draw a line.
Drawing a
Ah,
line.
uh,
These
there.
small box with number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, that is dynamic input.
And how to activate it, sir?
F12, you
Okay,
remember?
okay, okay. You told it in the last class. I
Right.
forgot it. Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So I have shared the drawing. All right. So two of them I have already showed to you, and I'm giving you one plan so that you have to do. So I will check all of this on Monday for sure. Okay.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more question. Do I need
Hmm.
to share today's assignment? Means, sorry, yesterday's assignment?
Do one thing. I will receive all the tasks together.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have to send it one by one. Okay then. Today's class is end here.
Thank you.